Playoffs is fast approaching. We're halfway through week 16, entering into week 17, and most fantasy playoffs begin week 23 to week 24. And this is a perfect time for me to give you players that I think you should be trading for to set yourself up for the best possible fantasy schedule for playoffs. So this video, I'm going to give you players to buy, sell, and hold contingent on fantasy playoffs and just overall outlook for the rest of the season. I hope you enjoy this video, guys. It's going to be a good one, so sit back, relax, and enjoy. John Tavares is the first player that I think you should be looking to trade for. Statistically, he's actually been a little bit better in 2022. It just hasn't popped up on the score sheet. In 2022, 80 games played, had one of the best seasons of his career, 36 goals, 80 points, almost 300 shots, over 100 hits, and almost 40 points on the power play. Just an outstanding season from Tavares, and that led over to this season where he was being drafted top 30, top 40 in most leagues. If you had faceoff wins a little bit higher because he's one of the best faceoff win players in the entire league. In 2023, he has struggled. If you drafted him, you're probably hurting right now and not sure what to do with him, or you're looking to sell him right now. And this is a perfect time for managers who don't own John Tavares to buy in. In 2023, he's been struggling, 45 games played, just 12 goals, 34 points, 10 points on the power play. His production offensively has been way down, but his shot volume is at a career high as a Toronto Maple Leaf right now at 11.9 shots per 60. And then another thing I want to note is that his hit volume this year still is steady from last season. He should hit over 100 hits this season or just under, and his faceoff percentage is up to 61%. Now, his 7.4% shooting percentage is a career low right now, but he has an expected goals for of 25. 12 goals on the season with an expected goals for of 25. Actually, a top 5 expected goals for the season. He is currently the #1 most unlucky player in the league with a negative 12.9 goals scored above shooting talent. This is a perfect time to buy in on a struggling player who hasn't been producing on the power play so far this season. I have a feeling that Tavares is going to turn it around. His minutes are up this season. His shot volume's up this season while his shooting percentage is down. This is a perfect recipe for a player that you want to buy in low on and hopefully has a very strong rest of the season for your fantasy team. We're back on the Alex Ovechkin train. He's likely the most talked about trade candidate in fantasy this entire season. I feel like the best way to describe his season is unlucky, and that's what everybody's been saying, but he is getting unlucky, and it just hasn't really been the season you hope for when drafting Ovi. Likely top 20 in most leagues, especially if these I consider hits. So right now, Alex Ovechkin, there are two key indicators on why I think you should be trading for him. First, as I mentioned, if you watch the intro, I'm going to be looking at players with good playoff schedules. And for right now, if your playoffs start week 23 and end in week 25, like most standard leagues do, the Capitals have the best playoff schedule. They have the easiest strength of schedule, but they also have 11 games and 4 games on the off nights, and those are teams you want to be targeting right now. Secondly, Alex Ovechkin he has been pretty much the entire season the 4th most unlucky player in the league with a negative 9.1 goals scored above shooting talent. So Ovechkin this season, I mean, for me, I don't think there's much concern, and the reason why is because if we saw his minutes dropping drastically, his shot volume is way down, he's not playing the body anymore, then I would be concerned. If he was line 2, power play 2, I would be concerned. But what we're seeing from Ovi is the same thing we've seen in the past, where he's playing really good minutes, over 19 minutes per night, and he's still shooting the puck at one of the highest rates in the entire NHL. His 10.9 shots per 60 ranks 28th among all players, and his 23.08 shot attempts per 60 is the 10th best amongst all players. So what we're seeing from Ovi is still strong minutes, 19 plus per night in a power play 1 line 1 role, while also shooting the puck at an extremely strong rate. His 5.6% shooting percentage is the lowest of his career and 7% lower than his cumulative last 3 seasons. So it's kind of crazy to see the season Ovechkin's having. I really hope he starts to score. But the thing I want to be picking out is that how good the Capitals playoff schedule is, and it's a perfect time to buy in on Alex Ovechkin. The power play's bad, but I'm buying in. At the time of recording, just 36% of you are subscribed to the channel, so if you've enjoyed the content so far, make sure you subscribe to stay up to date with all the content that we're going to be pumping out for the rest of the season. In addition, we have updated our projections for the rest of the season. If you're interested in gaining access to that, head on over to our Patreon. The link will be in the description. If you have any questions, make sure you leave a comment in this video or simply message me on Discord. Let's jump back into the video, guys. I've been hearing from time and time again in the Discord, in the comment section, what should I be doing with Zach Werenski? And this is the perfect segment to be talking about him. What I'm doing is I'm holding him. He's been stashed in my IR since he went on injury reserve. He has missed a ton of time, and previous to injury, he was scaling over 80% roster percentage, and now he's down to 56% because managers are getting complacent. There's a ton of injuries right now across all fantasy leagues, across all teams in the NHL, and people are wondering who they should prioritize, and Werenski is a guy that I think you should be looking to hold. Most people are currently dropping him in 10 to 12 team leagues, but for me, I've been holding him. Now, he will return this Thursday, January 25th, and he's going to return back to his spot on pair 1, power play 1, with no competition to fill his role, and he's going to be playing big minutes like we've seen previous to injury. Now, this season, it may not be as glamorous as you think, but he's currently top 20 in fantasy points per game amongst all defensemen and in standard Yahoo leagues. And that may not seem good, but as a guy that's going to be playing as your defenseman 3 and defenseman 4, filling the depth spots of your defenseman core, you want guys that are especially in the top 25 in most leagues. And right now this season, he's actually been shooting the puck quite a bit prior to injury. A 6.45 shots per 60 rate, 14th best amongst defensemen, and a 15.47 shot attempt rate, the 12th best amongst defensemen. So he does have those offensive opportunities and those offensive capabilities to be a very good long-term defenseman. Now, his negative 4.9 goals scored above expected is the most unlucky amongst all defensemen. Even with missed time, he's still the most unlucky defenseman. He's at the second highest shot rate of his career and the highest block rate of his career. He's still playing over 24 minutes per night, and he's returning this Thursday. A perfect time to activate him off your IR, perfect time to trade for him, and hopefully if you didn't drop him, you held on strong like I did. Another player I've been getting a ton of questions about in the comment section in the Discord is what to do with Cam Talbot. So hopefully when Cam Talbot started to struggle, you picked up David Rittich, who was a very, very capable 1B. And right now with Talbot, he's been struggling a ton. And for me, I think it's because he's just simply overworked. He's up to 36 starts on the season right now, and his most starts since 2018 is 49. And this happened in 2021 with the Minnesota Wild. Cam Talbot right now has just played way too many games to start the season, and they overworked him, and now we're starting to see the struggles. This is the same thing we see each and every season with Jake Ottinger, where they overplay him. He struggles at the end of the season and then struggles going into playoffs. So in October and November, Talbot was a league winner. He had 15 starts, a 10-4-1 record, a 928 save percentage, and a 199 goals against average. He was a league winner in most leagues, but since then, he has been struggling considerably. December, January, 15 games started, a 472 record, a 902 save percentage, and a 298 goals against average. Just numbers you don't want to see from your starting goalie, especially someone that was winning leagues for you at the start of the season. Now, for the rest of the season, what should we expect? To me, I do think it's going to be more of a 60-40 split. I think right now, Rittich's going to be getting the bulk of the time for the next week or two. But leading up to playoffs, they're going to want Cam Talbot to be that starting goalie in round 1 and round 2. They're going to be a very competitive team, so they're going to be giving him reps leading up to the end of the season. So I assume it's going to be a 60-40 split. It's really hard to say. I can't see it being anything less than 50-50, but David Rittich is a capable backup. I don't think he's a capable starter. The LA Kings in 2023, as I said in the preseason, one of the best teams. Hopefully my futures bet at 21-1 pays off for them to win the cup this season. 55% Corsi for percentage, the 4th best in the league, a 56% goals for percentage, 4th best in the league, and a 55% expected goals for percentage, 4th best in the league. And the reason why I tell you this, as I always say, you want the team in front of your goaltender to be good, because if they're good, the goalie will be good. Cam Talbot, if you own him right now, hold him. Add David Rittich if he's available. You want this tandem. This team's extremely strong, and they're going to bounce back, and so will Cam Talbot. It has been a nightmare the last month for Alex Debrincat owners, myself included. He's down to 83% roster, which is crazy to think because he was a top 100 drafted player in most leagues. His production has been declining considerably over the last month, but I do think right now he has enough value that you can move him. In this season, 46 games played, 17 goals, 40 points, and 133 shots. Still likely ranked within the top 100, if not top 75 in most leagues. And it's a perfect time to just try and get rid of this guy. In January, 9 games played, 0 goals, 2 assists, 14 shots on goal. He was relegated down to the second line in the second power play unit. And a lot of people thought when Kane came in, would Debrincat get better? He did for the start, but then once Kane got injured, they were struggling as a duo. There just wasn't chemistry like we saw before. But now that Kane's injured, he hasn't been skating yet. I do think this hurts Debrincat's production quite a bit. And the fact that he's just not skating on the top power play unit is crazy to me because he's the best goal scorer. And Don said today, yeah, sure, let's put JT Compher on the top power play unit and not our 40 goal scorer, Alex Debrincat. So it seems like he's in the doghouse right now. He's not playing good. I think this is a perfect time to move him. But the number one thing to justify on why I think you should be trading him away is Detroit has actually the worst schedule in playoffs right now. From week 23 to week 25, they have just 9 games played and 1 off night, and by far the most difficult schedule of any team. So this is a perfect time to get rid of a guy who won't be benefiting you in playoffs, who's been struggling quite a bit, but still has enough value that you could be looking to move him. Let me know in the comment section below if you own Debrincat and who you're looking to trade him for. The last guy I think you should be looking to sell is one of the hottest players in the entire NHL right now, Blake Coleman. Oh my, this guy has been good. I didn't add him in any leagues. I wasn't on him at all because there just wasn't really much to like. It was just a really, really good hot streak that he's currently, and he's still on it right now. But in October and November, 23 games played, 6 goals, 13 points, 56 shots on goal, and averaging just under 16 minutes time on ice with a 10% shooting percentage, right around his career average. Now, jump to December and January, he became an entirely new player. 23 games played in that time, the same amount as above. Doubled his goal total, almost doubled his assist total. His shot volume went down, his minutes went up by 2, and his shooting percentage went up by 16%. He has been extremely strong the last little bit, playing good minutes, but he doesn't even play on the top power play unit right now, and he's still scoring at this insane rate. His shooting percentage is at 18.3%, which is 8.3% above his career average, and his shot rate, 8.5 shots per 60, is the lowest he's had since 2018. Coleman is a notorious, very strong shot volume type player, but his shot rate's at the lowest we've seen in the last 6 years. So there's not much to like from Coleman other than just a hot streak right now, which means it's a perfect time for you to be trying to sell him. Evidently, he also has one of the worst playoff schedules amongst all teams, with 9 total games and 1 off night and some very difficult matchups. So it's a perfect time to move a guy who's been good for you that hopefully people will want to buy into. Do it for the buy, sell, and hold video for week 16. If you enjoyed the video, make sure to leave a like. And if you're new to the channel, please subscribe. Thank you for watching, and I look forward to seeing you all in the next video.